let's see. Sometimes I'll forget some of them when I come back. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just you don't want to bring a red flag up because when they process that word help, okay, then we're thinking distress, but you don't realize it because your conscious and subconscious are totally separate. Okay. There's time, and we'll get into subliminal message, and I'll show you what they are, how they were used, and to where it makes sense for you. Okay. Get into that whole deal. All right. All right. Now to this real quick, and then I'll go on so if I think some more notice. Every new car manufactured nowadays. Oh, what I was going to say earlier about back in the old days, it's always been the best way to make money. So back in the old, when car business, in the 70s, 60s, ever since then, it's just been awesome. I mean, it was great in the 80s, even with the interest rates real high, but it was, just killer. 80s and 90s, early 90s were great in the car business. And they predict the next 5 years is supposed to be just as good as them, if not better than they ever were. The next 5 years are supposed to predict to be the best years ever for car business. All right? Now, but back in the day, people would go to prison, go this and that, which we all make mistakes, but so instead of going down the path of selling drugs or whatever it may be and robbing places or whatever, they said, well, you know what? I can probably make just as much, if not more money selling cars. So that's why we got the stereotype we were all con artists. And literally, I was at stores back in the early 80s where if a police car pulled up to the store, you look around, it looked like a ghost town. Where all the salespeople go?
I got warrants.
Been many stores back in the day where they pulled the general manager out of store cuffs. Salespeople, everything. So, but the stigma stuck with us, I guess, and they weeded out a lot of the con artists in the car business. There's still a lot of them out there. Now, difference between a con artist and someone that lies, to a certain extent. Con artists have one motivation, and that's to rob you of your money. Okay. Now, someone that lies, they're just trying to sell you a car. But to me, that's still robbing someone of their money. Okay. But anyway, so you get a survey. After you get certified, and as soon as you start work, they'll give you a login where you can do videos. You'll watch like a video on a F-150 truck, okay, or whatever. Then you'll have a test after that, and you get certified on trucks. Okay, every manufacturer has, now Ford is still in the kind of the cave, and they haven't come out of the cave yet. They just do direct deposit and put it in their checking account, the money in their checking account. All the other manufacturers give you like a credit debit card that says Toyota on it or something like that. To where, now, not only do you get commission from the store, but you also will get a commission from Ford. And they direct deposit it in your bank. Okay, that's up and above, beyond what you get paid here. That money has nothing to do with what you get here. All right, but if you get a survey that comes back, and all the surveys have 5 spots on them. 5 slots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they go anywhere from, then all that different wording from poor, and then right in here is going to be good, or fair, whatever term you want to be. And this is completely satisfied on most, so that's fine. So now, it goes like this, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100%. Now, see the board right over here? Show you how important this is. See all these salespeople? See the percentages?
Wow.
Okay. There's some of them that aren't going to be here very long. They're getting ready to get cut out here, I guarantee you. Because I guarantee you the region average is above 80. It's above 80. It's normally 81 is the nation's average. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1. There's only 1 there. The other guys pulled theirs up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that might be why we're having this class. Okay, because if you stay, dealer will not keep you. He can't. Because if you keep a person and they keep drawing your customer satisfaction index down, they'll close the franchise. They'll pull the franchise from you. This is a very consumer-friendly business nowadays, as it should have always been. Okay, but they've smartened up, and it wasn't just for that was one of the purposes. But the new car manufacturers couldn't get a lot of these because a lot of your old pro car guys always wanted to sell used cars. So they figure out, now, how are we going to get, because there was always great commissions on used cars. So they figure, how are we going to get these people, these pros, to come over and sell new cars. So what they did was they came out with these customer satisfaction deals, and they give money for when you get a good one. They give you an extra $100. Some of them, and they have all kinds of other spiffs that they put out there. So where, I mean, there's, people that make $30,000 to $60,000 a year just on their extra money from Ford, or from Toyota, or from Fiat. My buddy has a little Fiat store up in Olathe, Kansas. They only sell 20 cars a month at that store, because Fiat's the biggest one in the nation, only sells 75. I think they did 98 one month. It is in San Antonio, Texas. So Fiat's don't just sell a lot of cars, I mean, a lot of people want to pay 30 grand for a little roller skate.
Yeah.
Not that they're bad cars, but I mean, some of them, I guess they're entry level headed, but everybody wants the Abarth, I guess is what it is. And they're like 30 grand. But not everybody wants the entry level one, it's 17 grand. But anyway, so far this year, he's got over 20,000 made up in spiff money just from 20 cars a month. Okay? So, a lot of money to be made in this business. It is what you make of it. Anybody that comes out of my class, I guarantee you, you're expected, because the only time you're working in the car business, okay, is when you're with a customer or on the phone with a customer. I wouldn't tell you and train you to do anything different than I ever did. I'm not one of them type of guys. I stayed a salesman for as long as I could. I had manager opportunities for many times in my years in the car business. And before I ever got to make a manager, I made sure that I was going to make a lot more than what I was making selling cars. Okay, because I always made a ton more than most of the managers selling cars. Okay, so I said, well, I don't want the headaches and all the responsibilities you get, and and I make more money than you. Why would I take a pay decrease? I mean, that's kind of insulting. Why would I want to do that? Just to say I'm a manager. Oof. It's like we had a discussion last night at dinner. I said, I don't care if you call me the porter washing the car. Just pay me like I'm supposed to get paid.
Yeah.
Pay me for selling these cars. I don't care what you call me. All right, anyway, every average in the United States, pretty much, on any manufacturer, always seems it's kind of magical. It's always over 81%. So, in order to get to the 100, to get a perfect survey, you basically got to have 100. Because if you get here, you got an 80. You're under the region's average. Okay? It's not hard to do. You sit there, there's different ways, and as long as you do what I tell you to do and treat the customers right, they're going to make sure you get a perfect survey. Hold on. Now, a lot of times now some of the dealers, some of the manufacturers have gotten digital. They send them an email. But I always tell my customers before they start doing that, I said, bring your card in when you get it. Fill it out with me. I'll make sure you get a free oil change. Okay? All right? The dealer will love to do that for a good survey. Okay? Because I want to make sure that you can mark every box completely satisfied, Mr. Customer, because that reflects on my pay and my job. Okay? So I want to make sure if for some reason you can't mark it completely satisfied, I want to rectify that for you. Okay? So I want you here with me. Okay? And we'll get you a free oil change. All right? So that way I always have 100% survey, pretty much. All right? Now we're doing it via email. So you can tell them the same thing. If you just come in here, we can log into your email, fill it out with me, and then I make sure once you hit the send button, we'll get you a free oil change. But I want to also make sure that everything, if you have any reason you can't mark it completely satisfied, I want to know right then and there so I can get it taken care of. All right? So it's not a problem getting this. Then you get your extra commission up and above beyond whatever the dealer gives you. Okay? It puts it directly in your bank. So that's why, you see, that's why it's it's monitored strictly. Okay? They want to know where they're at. And it doesn't take a lot to, a couple surveys can burn you and get you below the average, but then as soon as a couple hundreds come in, get you back over it. Okay? So as you can see, I thought there was a couple of them in trouble, but then they pulled it out. So, a couple of guys. But like I said, it is a very important thing. All right? If your customers aren't happy, they're not completely satisfied, they're not going to send you any business, right? All right, we're going to do a little exercise. So Vince, if you would, like when I'm doing it, as each person is doing it, I want to have you fill it. Would everybody agree, first I'm going to ask a question, would everybody agree that you would like to treat every customer on that car lot as if they were your own friend or family? Would everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and we'll do it shortly, but each person's going to do this. Sell me this pen. We've already done the meet and greet, so just sell me this pen.
It's a great pen. It's very yellow. Would you like to buy it?
Okay. Sell me the pen.
Hey, Ron, I got this nice pen here.
Okay.
It has engraved days in.
Right.
It has marking of black.
Right.
Very, very handy. Has a phone number even on it.
Oh, okay.
So that you can contact them, make a reservation
Wow.
if you need to.
Right.
If you want to. And it's going for very low cost.
Okay.
And so,
Okay. All right. Thank you. So it's pen.
This is one of the best pens we sell, actually. This is a Days In pen.
Oh, yeah.
It's a yellow pen.
Right.
It's one of the best writers that we have in the store.
Okay.
If you have time for that, you take a chance to write with it.
Sure. A test drive. Test drive. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a very low cost. Very low cost.
Very low.
Very low.
Very low. Like a low places, friends.
All right. Now, before we go any further, I just want to make sure that you're completely satisfied with the product. If you have any questions or concerns before we go and, crunch the numbers, make sure that you can financially afford this.
Okay.
And just want to know, make sure you are satisfied with it.
Okay.
Okay, now you're looking at this saying, that's just a normal pen, right?
Mhm.
Well, as a matter of fact, this pen's rather different. Normal pens are, black, blue. They have just a normal, you lose it in your purse, you lose it in your car, you can't really find it anywhere. Look at this neat yellow lid. You can't tell me if this was in the bottom of your car, you wouldn't find it. It's got a really nice ball point to it, rolls really easily, ink doesn't dry up. It's informational. It has the Days In logo on it as well as a phone number, and it's pretty cost effective. It's not a big, but it's not a piece of chalk you found on the ground either.
Okay.
I really think that this pen helps people out the best. I think that this pen would really do you good, and so we can see if we can work this in or if this is what you even want.
Okay.
You better buy that pen.
I know, right?
All right, hey Ron, this is one of the best pens we have on market today.
Okay.
I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want it to do.
Right.
It's very affordable for your cost as well.
Okay.
And we're here to meet all your needs. Thank you very much.
Well, maybe mine over here.
You want to do yours over again? Shall we let him do it over again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, Alex.
This pen's from Days In. It's very yellow. It's a lot different than the other pens.
Okay.
You can write very well with it. It has actually have black marks and everything. I do recommend you buy this pen compared to these kind of pens that I have.
Okay.
Um,
I went to King.
or Chuck Chayhoff, though.
I was born at King Med Center.
You buy that one too.
Oh, snap!
I
No,
was,
reverse.
Give me a hand. All right. Now, and hopefully no one feels offended if not one of you got it right. Now, but here's the deal. Some of you kind of touched a little bit, but no one really did. I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to prove my point to you. Okay. No one's in the room's married, are they?
Divorce.
Gosh.
Same one.
Anybody have any adult children? How could you have an adult child? You're a child yourself, Alex.
I'm just kidding.
Sell your
Wow.
I'm just
Okay, so it's real tough. Okay, well, Vince, I'm going to ask you a question. You guys, who's the most important person in your life right now?
My wife.
Okay. Let's say Miss Diane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Diane calls you right now on a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, honey, I need you to run to the mall and get me a pen. Now, are you or are you not going to say, now, honey, what do you need a pen for? What are you going to be using a pen for? Now, I mean, can't you just go to the utility drawer, grab a pen out of there? Why do I got to go to the mall to get a pen? Can I just, go get you a Bic or something, or can't you get a Bic?
I wouldn't say.
Or you're going to go to the mall probably, right? Like she said, you're gonna go to the pen salesman and say, you're probably gonna put her on the phone, so here, I need you to have, but, and then you're gonna tell her, now, look, honey, I've only got like $10 on me. Is there a certain budget I need to be around on this pen? Now, felt pen or ballpoint, whatever. You're gonna ask all these questions, aren't you? Because you don't wanna get it wrong, right?
Right.
You wanna get it right? Okay, so why didn't anybody ask me any questions? Why didn't anybody ask me what I was gonna be using a pen for? Okay, if I had a certain budget I wanted to be around, but I'll tell you why. Because I said, we've been programmed all our life. We watch TV commercials. You bought things all your life. So that's how everybody starts to sell things. That's not the salesman I am, and that's not the salesperson you should be. Because the one that really cares about your wants and needs and cares about you, find out what you're going to be doing with it. Because that's where you open up, where you find common ground about a person also. When you're asking them kind of questions. Because you might find that what they're going to be using it for is something that you do, or something like that, and you find that common ground. You find that 6 degrees of separation.